Hi, I'm Chris with Packaging Validators, here to go over the four main parts of a pressure-sensitive label, also known as a PS label or a sticky label. And those four parts come up on a daily basis when you're trying to make something work for you and your production at your factory. So let's cover the four basic parts. The first is the roll size, core and outer diameter. The second is the unwind. Third is the dimensions. And fourth is the corner radius. So let's start with the roll size. Most rolls in the industry, the most common size is 8 inches. Why 8 inches? It fits in most thermal transfer and direct thermal printers. It's easy to carry around. It doesn't have a lot of weight to it, but it's not too small. But we would recommend that if you're automatically applying labels, that you go with a bigger roll. The bigger roll, the fewer changeovers you're gonna have in production, stopping and starting and changing out the rolls in your label applicator, unless of course you have an automatic splicer. So we would go with automatic application, outer diameter, OD, of 12 inches or more. We can go all the way up to 22 or 23 inches. And the bigger the roll, the fewer roll changes you're gonna have. The next part's the core. Most common core size is 3 inches. It accommodates not having tremendous curl. If we had a really small core on the inside of this, like a 1-inch core, these labels would get very curly on the inside after dispensing, and that would make them difficult to apply. So this 3-inch core broadens the radius enough that the labels aren't too curly and hard to apply when you get down to the middle of the roll. If you have a really long label that's maybe 12 inches or more, 10 inches or more, we would go to a 6-inch or an 8-inch core. That would also minimize the curl. Second part, unwind. There are 8 common unwind positions. The main 4 are a number 1 or a number 2. In a number 1, the label dispenses off artwork at the top. So the American flag here you can see is coming off the top of the label as it dispenses off the roll. This next would be a number 2 unwind, where the bottom of the artwork comes off the roll first. And a number 1 or a number 2 is most oftenly used in top or bottom apply applications. So if I was applying a top label to the top of this container, it would be a number 1 or a number 2 unwind. Or if I was applying something to the top of this container, or even the backside bottom with this barcode sticker, PS label, that would be a number 1 or a number 2. And then we see number 1s and number 2s with the tops of boxes. So when you're labeling the top of a box in production, as this is going down the conveyor line, this is gonna get a number 1 or number 2 label position. Number 3 and number 4 are common for bottles and containers. So as a container is going down the production line this way, it either needs a number 3 or a number 4 unwind. So let's use this bottle, for example, where we have a number 3 unwind position where the right edge comes off first, the right edge of the artwork. If the left edge of the artwork came off first, it'd be a number 4. Third, we're gonna talk about dimensions, and dimensions are critical. I have people call in all the time or send us emails, and they just put in random dimensions, 4x6, 6x4. There's an importance to measuring a label when it's on a roll. If they're sheeted, it doesn't matter, but on a roll, it does. We always talk about across the roll first and along the roll second. So this label is 4 inches across the web and 6 inches along the web. If it was a 6x4 label, then the labels would be positioned on the roll like this. That positioning is critical because that affects how your estimate is done with regard to how many across we can run in production. It also affects critically, and very important, how these labels are going to apply to your bottles or containers in your factory. And then the last thing, number 4, as it pertains to label terminology, is the corner radius. The standard corner radius on a label is 1/8 of an inch. And the broader the radius, the easier it is to waste strip and die cut. So when this label is made in production, we have to waste strip this matrix away. The broader the radius, the easier it is to dispense, and the easier it is to remove the waste matrix. The closer you get to a squarish corner, such as a 1/64th radius, the label's more square and the more likely to dog ear. So in summary, we have 4 parts. 1 is the roll dimensions, 2 is the unwind, 3 are the label dimensions, and 4th is the corner radius. If you'd like some free information on this, and I've even got charts available for all of these, all you have to do is email us at info@ pkgvalidators.com, and we'll be more than happy to email those to you. Until next time, I'm Chris at Packaging Validators, and those are your label terminologies for pressure-sensitive labels.